I'm back.
I have been super quiet on social media, and this is why. So this is me the night before I had my blood test, and be warned, there's some ugly crying about to happen. Okay, so I'm really hoping that I've got all my ugly crying out of the way. I just spoke to Craig about how I'm feeling about tomorrow. Just with getting a blood test and stuff, and it's really overwhelming. I know I have no control over it, and I have absolutely loved being in our little bubble of just enjoying a little embryo, and but it's just too much for me at the moment because I don't want it to be. I don't want the pregnancy test to be negative. I know no one ever wants that, but like when you're trying, no one ever wants that, but my God. And in a way, like I have had like a little boundary. I found it really difficult to explain, but I think I was just trying to protect my own heart, and as much as I've been like rubbing my belly and, you know, we've both been talking to a little embryo saying, you know, stay in there and latch on and all this sort of stuff, and we've just loved these 11 days with our little embryo, but tomorrow's gonna tell us the answer of whether or not it's actually worked, and I'm just terrified. I am so terrified, and I don't know how people do it over and over and over again. Like, how do you even do it? Because this is me the night before our pregnancy test of our first cycle. Oh, and it will wreck me. Like, for a bit, it will break me, but I guess I did get all the ugly crying out of the way. But really, like, to anybody who is trying to conceive, no matter how long, if it's just been a short amount of time, a long amount of time, if you're on your first round of IVF, or if you're on, you know, more than your first round, like, it's just, I send you so much love and support, because this is a journey. And it, you know, you just go through so many times of the highs. You get so excited, and then you're devastated, and then you get so excited, and then you're just emotional, and then you get so excited and hopeful, and then, you know, a bit of fear jumps on board. And I think this is also a bit of the fear that I've been just pushing down and not acknowledging. Like, I've acknowledged it in a small way, but I just didn't want the fear to ruin our first couple of weeks, and I just wanted to enjoy it, which I don't regret at all, but I think this is what it is. Or if it turns out well, hopefully it's pregnancy hormones. But I'm just a crybaby anyway, so it's probably just normal. Okay guys, so I'm about to head off and go get my blood test. Here's hoping we get the result that we want. Lol, I was about to leave without my blood form. That might be helpful. So I am on my way to get my blood test to find out if our little embryo has stuck and is growing there. It's clearly and obviously, not clearly, it's obviously very exciting, but I'm also absolutely terrified because I 100% do not want this to be negative, and it is freaking me the out. So but and then I don't know when we'll get the results and that sort of stuff, so yeah, we'll see an update soon. Oh my goodness. Have I told you how much of a crazy person I am? Because I have not even peed on a pregnancy test yet. I am literally just waiting for a blood test, and I've been told by multiples, how are you doing this? And why are you going to wait for the blood test? I wouldn't be able to do this. I know, I'm crazy. I'm totally insane. I even think I'm crazy, but also very self-disciplined. Friday come along and Craig come home. And I was at work till 9 o'clock. And I didn't just want to tell him, I just wanted to make it a little bit more special for him. So I waited. And I waited. Morning came. And I waited a little bit more. Now in that time, I went to a couple of shops and I said to Craig, I'm just like, I just want to go out to our block and I just want to do something for social media. I've been wanting to do it for a while. By this time, he was getting a little bit frustrated because it's his mum's birthday weekend and she was here staying with us. He was just getting a little bit frustrated and he's like, you do realise that this weekend isn't about you? Much to his dismay, we ended up going out there. We come home from being in town, picked up the dogs because I said I needed the dogs with me, picked up the dogs, and then this is what's happened. Okay, so I'm about to tell Craig that we're pregnant, and I'm very nervous. We are out at the block and I wanted to do it out here just because this is where we're also building our first family house, and we've seen that there's some progress too. They put some gutters in, so that's pretty exciting. So he is just over here with the puppies, and I was like, I just want to do a social media thing, like come on. And he was pestering me, asking me so many questions. The signs that I've made for the dogs, that was up the back. So we're 4 weeks and 5 days. Yeah.
4 weeks?
Yeah, I'll explain.
Oh.
Stop. I'll explain it. Yeah. Yeah, that was a hidden message. When I sent it, I'm just like, that's her birthday. How did you get that? It was really hard. It was really, and everyone that kept on asking, they're just like, do you know? I'm just like, no, we're not finding out till this weekend. Because I was dead set. No one yet. That's why they haven't put it out.
they're not gonna work all fucking day.
So when I had the phone call, I couldn't actually tell her to wait. She was like, "Oh, I'm just calling in regards to your results, to your blood test results." And as I was saying, "Oh," she's gone, "Congratulations!" And I'm just like, "Oh, I know now." Yeah. And I thought you picked up that I was lying to you, like kept on trying to recover on the phone call. Craig was in so much shock. He didn't know if I was being serious or not because I was very convincing, and he was expecting a phone call from the clinic that day. And when I showed him the frame of what I had written to him, he's like in so much shock, and he's just like, "Is this real? Like, is this real?" So the original plan that we had was that we were going to get the phone call from the clinic together, and we're going to find out over the phone by the clinic together. The day of the phone call, I was at work. I'd missed a few phone calls. It was like 5:30. I'm like, okay, all my work's done. They're calling. I've got to answer this. I'm still at work. I answered the phone, and she's just like, "Hi Ginny, just in regards to your blood test results, congratulations." Not a pause, nothing. And then as she said, "In regards to your blood test," I was about to say, "Can we just wait and get a phone call on Saturday?" But that didn't work out. And as soon as she said congratulations, well, when she started saying congratulations, I was in the middle of about to say, "Oh, actually." But honestly, just finding out the news was just incredible in itself. It took away all those expectations and the plans and that sort of stuff, and it was incredible. Even though I was at work, I walked out and the girls were like, "So do you know?" And I'm just like, "No, that was just about hormones." I feel like they might have known that I was lying because I was all flushed in the face and I was all sweaty, and I even walked out. I was like, "Whew, I'm sweaty after that phone call." And then yes, everyone from work and everyone on here has been asking, "Do you know what's going on?" Blah, blah, blah. But I was adamant that I was not going to tell anybody else before I told Craig. So, and it's tempting. It was so tempting. I wanted to call a couple of my best friends and just be like, "I need to tell you." But I knew like I would feel so bad. So yeah. And then what happened next was that we told our families. Now, I don't know what I did, and I had to like FaceTime. We had to FaceTime a lot of our family, but you can see the reactions, but you can't hear a thing, even though the microphones were on, but for some reason it didn't record the sound from the call. So I've obviously got something in my setting, or maybe screen recorders doesn't do that. I'm not sure. But this is my family.
Loving her is like falling asleep to the sound of the rain on my window. Softer than her skin, where do I begin to explain it? Loving her is like floating around in a cloud so high I feel it. Brought me to my knees, she's the one I need.
The first day we kissed. Remember the first day we had an argument. We apologized and then we compromised, and we haven't argued since. Remember the first day we stopped playing games. Remember the first day you fell in love with me. It felt so good. The first day we kissed. Remember the first day we had an argument. We apologized and then we compromised, and we
this is Craig's family. And then we've got some friends too.
Hell yeah, hey DJ, bring that back.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
Hell yeah, hey DJ, bring that back.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that. Alright. I like to move, 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 move. Like to move, 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 move.
Sharing our news with everyone so publicly as well and so early, because today we are 5 weeks pregnant. I know traditionally you wait for the 12 weeks and then you say something, right? But my thought on this is a loss is a loss, regardless if it's been before the 12 weeks. That is still so heartbreaking, and especially when we have been trying for so long. And if you find out that you're pregnant and you haven't been trying and you lose that pregnancy, it is still so heartbreaking. A loss is a loss. It is just as heartbreaking before your 12 weeks and after your 12 weeks. And that is something I have noticed within the trying to conceive, the fertility, the infertility community, all on different social platforms, is that they're trying to raise awareness around that too. So I have had people say, but what are you going to do when you fall pregnant? Like, you're supposed to wait till you're 12 weeks before you tell people. Society says that we're supposed to wait 12 weeks. I can do whatever the hell I want. If I want to tell it early, I'm going to tell it early. And I mean that with a lot of love and with a lot of sass behind it too, because it's up to myself and Craig to decide when we are ready to share this. So yeah.
You are the reason why I'm still hanging on.